Happy Friday, everyone. At least I'm happy right now. Uh, Midterms are almost over. Jack has he had a retake that the professor allowed for one class, and I think that went well. I talked to the professor. The professor said he's not the only one retaking it. She didn't understand why he's retaking it because he does have an A in the class, but it's just kind of the way our neurotypical, our neurodiverse children act, not the way neurotypical act. And if you know something obvious because you're watching us because you're on the spectrum or your child is on the spectrum, there is something about a, a unity or something of that effect that just kind of is the way they are in certain things, especially in his case with certain classes. Uh, and oddly enough, this class is calculus based, but it's not his calculus class. The math and the formulas he's fine on. It's physics, just to give you a heads up. It's physics uh, based. It's calculus based physics. The second year of the course, and actually got to skip the first year. But long story short, he just is kind of, when it comes to math, he's kind of a perfectionist that way. So she says no matter what, she'll take the higher grade. But he did not get the extra time that is in his IEP, which is fine because she's having these retakes being done during her office hours. So you have to be completely just go with the flow. And that's why I told him. And, he was able to finish it, but he didn't feel good about it. Okay, so that's fine. And then he had his second calculus midterm. He was able to take that at the Disability Program Resource Center. Uh, so that way he's not a distraction to others and there's no distractions to him. This was, again, the second midterm for the course this term. Uh, he was able to finish it, but he wasn't able to do the extra credit assignments, which bug him. Uh, the class that he's having the most difficulty with, I checked this morning they use a program called Canvas. Most of the universities do nowadays. And he actually went up almost 2 percentage points for one of the assignments they had that actually raised the grade up. So really, really pleased with him. Now I just got to get him to finish up the assignment that's due. It was supposed to be due today by midnight. The instructor pushed it back till Sunday. I'm still going to have him do it and finish it tonight. He says he's almost there. He did talk to the discussion leader yesterday about it, who actually told him to do a certain thing to the assignment because it makes it easy for whoever's grading it. And I hope he took it to heart. I want to reward him. Thomas the Tank Engine is in town. Well, not in town. It's about an hour away. He's been going there since he was 2. And I told him, basically, you just got to complete it and I will take you there. So I guess that's where we're spending Saturday morning. He doesn't go there to ride the train. He actually goes there because he wants to go shopping for this year's specific. Usually they have like a wooden or the die-cast car. Could be a truck, meaning like a coal car or a cattle car or a box car that attaches to the train set. So he's been adding those for so long that, yeah, it's a reward. Which is interesting, just because for Jack, though, the reward and punishment just doesn't factor into him. It never has. I found out early when he was just a little guy that getting mad at him, yelling at him, unfortunately, I hope it bounces off of him. I hope he just doesn't internalize it, because that's my being a bad parent, not knowing what his struggles are or not knowing how at the time he encompasses things in his life. And so that's one regret I've had. I didn't know, because at the time he was not diagnosed, I didn't get it. And even when he was first diagnosed, I didn't get it all the way. And it's taken me over 10 years to have some comprehension of it. But even then, it's still hard. It's still very much a learning challenge for me as well to how to be a better dad. And I got this feeling I'm not alone. Other parents are that way. And I got this feeling I'm very positive that it's going to be the rest of his life like I'm going to feel this way. Did I do enough? Uh, and I share this with you because those are my own fears. Those are my own concerns. And I'm sure with you, with children on the spectrum, it's similar. Uh, but enough about the being the Debbie Downer. Right now, I'm just happy and willing to celebrate his wins. Uh, that's the big one. That is the big one. You just, you know, can't say enough about it. But that's the joys of the midterms. That's the joys of school. That's the joys of, like I keep telling him, this class you're in that's struggling. And oddly enough, it was his dentist who said, "What are you upset about? He's got a B in it." I was like, "Yeah, but last time you had an A in it, so the course before it." And unfortunately, these two courses are required to take 2 upper division courses in his major. So even though it's not it's not technically part of his major. So it's just, yeah. I need to learn. And that's the hard part, I think, for any parent with someone who is not neurotypical, is be accepting for what they can do. Don't hogtie them by perceptions of others, but do encourage them to keep reaching. Uh, that's my takeaway this week. Other than that, like I said, we'll probably end up at Thomas the Tank Engine tomorrow. And to me, that gives me probably my greatest joy. So just watching him, eyes wide open, all lit up. Dad, can I have this one? Yeah, you can. Dad, can, this? And I said, well, yeah, yes, I do incentives. Does it really work? I don't know. I've had a certain Thomas the Tank Engine that we had to order away for that's been sitting on the curio cabinet for about a month because of struggling to turn work in on time. It's just, he knows it's there. He knows he's going to get it. I would think he'd want to do it, but the idea of consequences still doesn't always faze him. Give you an idea, he was sitting in a lecture class, and it's funny that the professor does take attendance or has a gauge of who's in the room and who's not. And it's a big class. It's about, I would say, at least 150, 200 kids minimum. But there's only like 50 kids showing up. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't call them kids. They're in their 20s, but it's students showing up. And Jack's sitting by himself like he is against the wall, and he is doing the lurch, meaning he's going back and forth like this. No music on, except that it's in his own head, self-stimming. But Professor knows it. Professor doesn't call him out for it, and life goes good. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you have a good week. Reward yourself, reward your loved ones. Take care of the little ones, and we'll see you next week.